All right, so let's do our first demo. And before we start, let's remind us like why we are here, what's the mission of our team, which is to ensure that a growing number of users have an empowering and delightful experience with Stacks, apps, and assets. And that ties into the mission of the company itself. And the way we are doing this during this quarter at least is by basically getting Stacks to feature complete. We are getting there. Our main focus of work at the moment is around getting the wallets out and secure, and then also around finally reestablishing DNS names into Stacks 2. So with that, during the past few weeks to work on that stream, we've added the delegation feature into the Desktop wallet. The Explorer is now showing the total unlocked balances, as well as it has gone through improvements on performance and on the sandbox. There are some design proposals for the web wallet, and also the status page. It's now out, at least an MVP of the status page. And finally, we've done some preparation for the web wallet security audit. That's nothing we can demo, but that's something that did happen. So with that, Kyran, would you like to share your screen? And
of course. Yeah, so delegation. I'm doing it on testnet just because, yeah, it should be, I don't want to use real money, basically. So go to this screen now where you can either stack directly if you have the balance or delegate. Put in a delegatee's address. This will be quite a short demo, to be honest, but we can run through the steps. You can choose any amount of STX greater than your balance as well, just in case you have more later. Although I have put an artificial thing, limit of 10 billion, which I think should be enough, just in case any issues arise when you try and stack a huge integer. Freaker is requesting that we add the extra argument of the block height at which you want to, max block height, with the point at which you can get your stacks back. So you should think about doing that as well.
Yeah, that's on the list to talk about today, how to do it and when to do it.
Yeah. And as far as the demo goes, this is basically it. Once transactions succeeded, you will see that you are delegated and how much. And at that point, you're able to revoke the delegation. Yeah, I don't know if you want to wait for that to happen or not.
Really? Thank you. Yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, it looks simple, but it took a ton of work to get here. Yeah,
that it did.
Work. All right, so next is Thomas with the Explorer.
Hey, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I haven't shared on this computer yet. I might have to restart.
Too many monitors?
I got that new Mac Mini, and I have to, I'll be right back. I have to adjust my permissions for the Zoom app.
All right. So Jasper, do you want to share yours before Thomas?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we've been working on some improvements to the web wallet. First is the transactions. This is how it is currently, where we have only one transaction, and the designs didn't include all the different types of transactions there could be. We want to make it more into a feed where you see more transactions and also all the types that could possibly occur. So here's a matrix of all the different types of transactions you can make, and then their states and how they would appear. So we got contract calls, fungible token transfers either coming in or going out of your wallet, and same for NFTs. And then how this would look is like this. So anytime you like call a contract in an app, such as I go on Zora and I make a bid on an NFT, it would show up in my feed. Same as, registering a name for BNS or starting stacking, and, simple token transfers like a fungible token like STX or an NFT, they would show up in this list. And then I could click on, for instance, this contract call, and then it would show me, the status, where I did it, the time, the fees, all the details, and also the events associated with the contract call. So I transferred STX to the contract, and then I got the NFT back. And then as for balances, we have two simple components. One is with metadata for a token or an NFT, where they set an image, or we have some kind of registry. And the other is where we don't have anything, in which case we're generating these nice gradients based off the particular ID. And the balances would have a tab as well. Before this was split into two, we would have one for tokens and one for collectibles. But now they're just one, where we got all my fungible tokens and then my collectibles right here. And then another thing is the account, where now we number them, account 1, 2, 3, etc. And we show the whole address, which is not great in my opinion, to identify which wallet it actually is. And then the initial designs only show the address as well. So here's a proposal on how we can do it differently. We can have a local name for your wallet, which you would set if you create a new one. So I would create a new one, and it would ask me to name it, and then I can make it public optionally, which would register it with BNS, and then we can have some kind of description on what that means. But then we don't need the whole string for the account. You can just have a nice name, and then if you switch, it will look like this. Oh, and here's an indicator for testnet or mainnet. So if it's testnet, we can make it more noticeable. That's it.
That looks great. So is there any questions for Jasper?
I want to say I think it looks great. I'm really excited about it.
It's fantastic. Yeah, me too.
Thanks. Oh, and the status page. I don't really have anything to demo. You can just go and check it out at stacksandco/status.
It exists. Yeah,
it exists.
I just mentioned there because it was something that we've done, right? Cool. So Thomas, can you share your screen now?
Yes, I should be able to. Let me try.
Fantastic.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. So I'm going to demo a couple of things that I've been working on related to the Explorer. First one is, we have basically a set of addresses that have, locked tokens, and there wasn't a good ability to display them in the new Explorer. And so Jasper did the designs, and then I implemented the feature. So here's an example of one. You can see balance over here, and they still have a locked amount. And so the feature I implemented basically was this model that more or less fetches the legacy data and then sort of maps out when the estimated date will be, and then you can kind of follow along. And ideally, you'll be able to see the whole sort of cumulative amount if everything worked out. It also shows this user actually delegated some stacks, and so it shows that this needs to be updated, but an amount locked away for stacking. And then here's just another example, pretty straightforward. The next feature I want to show off is, so I did a lot of work kind of refactoring the Explorer to kind of optimize for bundle size. And so previously you can kind of see this line as the important one, where before I did all this work, the basically the first load when a user would come to the page of just JavaScript would be almost 500 kilobytes. And then after doing some like code splitting and kind of taking care to import certain things in certain places, I got that down to 194. So more than half, or less than half. And then it kind of, as a result of that, part of what was taking up all the space was, what contributing to a lot of the space was the sandbox. And so there's a lot of code that was kind of shared unnecessarily. And so I kind of stripped out everything from the sandbox and sort of isolated it to itself. And while I did that, I took some time to kind of improve it and adjust the design and then also some of the features that it has. So the biggest change is kind of this new editor, which is using this tool called Monaco, which is what VS Code uses under the hood. So there's basically VS Code just like in the application. And the editor is like really powerful. It has a lot of hooks that you can tie into for doing things like this, where you can sort of hover over different keywords or functions, or kind of like baked in native language functionality. And so, you can do that, and you can kind of hover over like all these different functions. And there's some very kind of like naive sort of autocomplete. So like it knows that there's like certain variables and stuff like that. So yeah, so there's that. And then I kind of refactored the call a contract page a little bit to have some of these default built-in contracts that are on the network. And you can click on one, it'll autofill it, search for it, and then give you all the functions that it has. And you can click on any of these and kind of pass in the variables and call it. And so here we can call like get POX info, and that'll call the function and then return whatever the response is. Then you can also do some normal token transfer. And if you're on testnet, you'll be able to use the faucet, get some stacks. Oh, it's broken. Don't pay attention to that. But yeah, that's all.
Cool. Great work. Yeah, I'm glad we did this before jumping into fixing the web wallet, so we can get that out of the way. So, well, thank you very much. I'm going to stop recording. This was a great demo.